You are now being tuned into the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. We rock it all through the cosmos and all the way out to the observable universe. You are being tuned in now. Yes, you are listening live on the Cool So the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Listening here on Sunday Night Vibes. Yeah. Listen here on the Cool So the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. We rock it from here to the cosmos, all the way out to the observable universe. Alright. Oh, and that's also, we rock it from coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica, you better be sending me a postcard. Yep, so if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow and like and subscribe to us on our other social media platforms. You can follow me on my TikTok channel, YouTube channel, both titled The Coolly Cool Show. You can also follow me at my Twitter account at CoollyCool2412. You can also follow me at my Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. And if you miss any of the episodes here on this amazing talk radio podcast, be sure to follow us and subscribe to us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Spreaker.com. We're going to be starting in just a couple of seconds, getting little things kind of ironed out, getting the kinks taken out, making sure we give you a great show here on Sunday Night Vibes. Alright. You are now tuned into the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. We rock it out through the cosmos and all the way out to the observable universe. Yes, you are now tuned into the Coolly Cool Show. Now, Without further ado, the man that exhilarates nothing but absolutely nothing but magnificent coolness. Yes, your host, none other than Brent. Yes, yes. You are listening here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show, here on this Sunday Night Vibes. So, here on Sunday Night Vibes, we try to give it a little different type of vibe from our other episodes, kind of a relaxation. So, welcome. Yes. So, yep. Just like to say thank you for tuning in here. I'm your host, Brent. You're listening here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. So, here on Sunday Night Vibes. So, this is your first time tuning into here. I'd like to thank you for listening to this amazing, coolism. That's a new word now. Coolism show here. I'd like to thank all my listeners, all two of you, outstanding. So, Sid, if this is your first time listening on the Sunday Night Vibes is a little bit different kind of podcast that I normally do. Try to be a little bit more mellow, talk about anything and everything, and kind of maybe give a little recap of the earlier podcast this past week. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I talked about, a lot of stuff that I went over, a lot of stuff that I probably was probably bitching about. This is bullshit, man. You know, the other night I did a podcast of galaxies or massive deception. Yeah. So I went at it pretty hardcore about, I wouldn't say that hardcore, about maybe a little bit. Delved into the whole galaxy thing. I talked a little bit about galaxies and how a lot of these scientists and astronomers are like, oh, galaxies, is billions and trillions and gazillions of galaxies out there, and they all house billions and trillions and gazillions of stars inside there, and each of those stars have maybe hundreds and thousands of planets and solar systems and stars and blah, fucking blah, blah, blah. I talked about a little bit of that and how, personally, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, for one, let's just kind of get on the fact of this, that they say these things, or they assume these types of things are out there, the galaxies and so on, so what. But they can't test any of this. They're just saying because of observation, this was what it is. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, literally, they're like, you have a high, powerful telescope, you'll be able to see the galaxy Andromeda. This is the closest galaxy here, and that's the galaxy that's going to kill us all because it's going to collide with our own galaxy, the Milky Way. We don't know when, but it's going to fucking happen. And we're scientists, so we know what the hell we're talking about. God damn it. So that's what they say, and that's what they think. I mean, because they apparently come up with all the equations, all the scientific evidence, the mathematics, the physics, all the so-called intelligent things that they say makes you intelligent because you're able to calculate this or put proportion. But I have told you plenty of times, if you listen to my show, how ridiculous and how dumb some of this shit sounds. And all you gotta do is open your mind just a little bit. While open your mind, have a little common sense and a little bit of logic, and you'll be all right. Yeah, I mean, I touched about that whole galaxy bit because it was just so dumb on how they're talking about. They know what our galaxy looked like because they've made all of the map, the calculations, the data, the formulas, the equations, the physics along with it to determine what our galaxy looks like, and they just said it has to look like this is what it looks like. This is what we're saying, and shut the hell up. It is what it is. Damn it. What do you know? How dare you talk back to us about it doesn't look that way and the kid there's no such thing? How dare you? You're not part of the goddamn elite, and if your ass was part of the damn elite, you'd be kicked out. God damn it. I'm just baffled on the pure nonsense of a lot of jargon and dumbass malarkey talk there is. Because then honestly, look, there's no way in hell we know what the Milky Way galaxy, the galaxy that we call ourselves being in, there's no way in hell that we know exactly what the Milky Way galaxy looks like. I mean, I don't give a fuck what data or what thing that you try to so-called say we've done experimentations and are we using observation to conclude the matters on this. No, it's a bunch of bullshit. And your observations are not 100% accurate, nor they're ever going to be 100% accurate. Because guess what? You can't test it. Like they say, oh, yeah, well, we can test it. We can do it. No, you can't test it. You can't go out of our galaxy and to look back and just turn around and say, look, yep, that's what it looked like. Okay, we're gonna go back to our galaxy now and go back to our solar system and tell everybody exactly here's what it looks like. You can't. There's no testing to do. There's none. I mean, I reiterated a little bit about how the Hubble telescope is out there and it's able to take all these pictures and the other galaxies that house millions and trillions and zillions of stars inside them. And, it can reach and take pictures all the way to the other side of the known or the observable universe, to that other side, right? But our surveillance cameras here on Earth that, hey, your ring door camera, it's a little bit, clarity is not all that really good. And you have a problem with zooming in, it might be a little bit fuzzy, but the Hubble telescope can see all the way out to the observable other side of the universe, and they can detect, oh, I think that area inside that galaxy might have life forms because we're looking and we're seeing deep down into their galaxy and their star, and we see planets, and we see a planet that maybe might be able to sustain life out there. It looks blue, yeah, but it's probably sustaining life, yeah. But like I said, security cameras, they just it's a dime a dozen, right? You didn't get the high powered Hubble, fucking door camera. You need the Hubble door cam. And I'm touching with a lot of this stuff. If they're able to have the Hubble telescope be able to look way out into the cosmos, to the observable side of the universe, why is it that they should know, and I believe they do know, and there's no saying that they don't know, is that they should have the coordinates for where the moon landing was, to where all the moon landings were. They left the vehicles and things of that nature, and portion of the limb there. They should be able to have the Hubble telescope, unless it's just past the fucking moon, I guess, I don't know, be able to zoom in on those sites that they're to confirm everybody's belief whether or not we went to the moon. I mean, that would probably do well. I mean, and I'm not lying. I mean, shit. I mean, I'm just wondering, am I crazy? But you have somebody listening here who's part of the elites of the elites, science man of everything. He's part of wants to be in with the scholars. He has a PhD and he's a doctorate, and he says, "You're wrong, sir. That's like looking in a haystack looking for a needle. Yes, we can tell you it's right there, but can you really see the needle? No, because of the hay is surrounding the needle, which looks closely similar to the hay in the haystack. So that is why I go talk while wiping my ass, because that is how smart and intelligent I am, that I can talk so immaculate while wiping my ass. It's just bunch of shit, man. I mean, every day I really question about a lot of stuff that's being told to us, and I'm entitled to have my right to opinion, to uh here in America, to freedom of speech. I have the right to talk, um and to say what I feel is on my mind. And I'm not promoting any type of hate. I'm not promoting any type of bad thinking or thing. I'm just expressing the way I feel, and I'm hoping that there are many other people out there are noticing that there is something that's not right. And as it's being told to us, they are trying to sell us something. And I don't think it's any good for us as people, not just a culture, not just a certain society, not just a particular race, but for us in general as a whole. There's something that's obviously not right. What's going on? Um, we're being told certain things that just doesn't make much sense, especially with the era of technology, how it has, you know, just gone in rapid directions. I mean, the flow of information is just flowing at such incredible speeds. I mean, something that happens, that information is spread within a matter of seconds, minutes, and next you know, the, the world knows about it or has some type of idea what's happening, as opposed to back in the early days when the technology, the flow of information was very stagnant and wasn't really able to be taken upon, because things didn't really flow that much. I mean, I think, was it? Yeah, I want to say the Independence Day was actually supposed to be on the 2nd of July. I think. I think there's some red on it. It's supposed to be actually on the 2nd, but because the information of Sam saying, "Hey, it's gonna be on this day" or whatever, that it somehow, by the time it got to reach towards other people, I'm thinking, I'm trying to base it on memory right now, that it actually got told where other people's like, and they were like, "Oh, it's the 4th." No, just say July 4th. But I think it might have been maybe a day earlier, 2 days earlier, the 2nd. But this is one of those things about the information being spread. It wasn't really that quick as it is today, and along with the technology that we have today to spread the information, a lot of misinformation is bad information. Fake news is big business. People sell you on stories because they want to be able to get the ratings, the views, the money. Uh-huh. So, if they're able to get that out there to the vast majority of people, trust and believe they will do so in order to feed their agenda to whatever they need to be done. Um, it's just one of those things, I guess. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and just gonna go ahead and play along with it. Like I said, I have the right to my opinion to speak out on this. I have the right to do that. But then you have many people that figure that they don't want you to be talking about said things or certain things, and they rather silence you in certain ways because they don't want the information to get out. They don't want people to hear your voice. They don't want people to be able to have a different thought process than the one that they want you to think of. I mean, it's very true. Um, I explained this in one of my podcasts beforehand, last month. Um, it was this group or a channel on YouTube. These guys, so-called, said they went to space, but all they did was go to the possibly the last layer of the atmosphere where they were able to achieve zero G gravity, and they only just kind of floated around in zero G gravity for 12 minutes. They weren't in outer space. They never left to go out to outer space. They weren't even wearing spacesuits when they caught this freaking rocket and rocket separated from the capsule to send them to zero G. They weren't even wearing any helmets at all. Period. They were wearing jumpsuits. The kind of jumpsuits that you probably didn't see people in certain videos when they're going in zero G altitude to experience that weight lostness. And this group, then they came back, okay, Blue, with the space was created. And they come back down and this and that. And I've explained that this channel, that channel that I'm particularly talking about, they have 58.3 million subscribers. And they're selling fucking wolf tickets trying to say that they went to space because a certain space program or whatever allows, hey, we're seeing in space. No. What they did is fucking fool people. What they did, and I'm telling you here because I talked about this in my podcast. I gotta probably figure which one my podcast I had explained this in. But what they did is look at the numbers in this. They have 58.3 million subscribers on YouTube. So as they have that many number of subscribers in and on YouTube, so when they upload a video, determining whether or not the notifications bell is on or the hey triggering of hey, they just posted a new video. Trust me, those individuals that subscribe to them are going to get certain things and going to turn it and click into watching their videos. So out of the 58.3 million, let's just say they get about a vast majority of people that actually watch it, that are subscribers. We're not talking about non-subscribers. So they get their subscribers. They get their, I'm going to say 20 million subscribers to watch their bullshit of them actually saying that they went to space. They fucking didn't. But what they did is they were able to market it for a company that says, hey, we'll give you some money if you go ahead and promote us, our company, so that we can kind of make more money, but basically market our company off to other people that are interested. So what you have is a company being able to market to individuals that are on a platform where they can reach out to the mass of millions of people. So they say, hey, we'll write you on almost a close to a blank check where you'll make a lot of money if, you go to this thing with us and we'll send you up there. It's not going to be the real thing, space. We want to keep you safe and everything, but we're promoting something that we want to pass. And they're like, shit, we gotta make some money. That's cool. But what they are is a pawn in it. They're just being utilized by that company in order to influence other people from those people that subscribe and watch to them. So basically, they kind of are leeching on that one YouTube group or channel in order to pass and influence people into the idea of space and being able to travel into space. So, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, and will continue to say it again on my channel and on my podcast, it's all fueled on the minds of men, of mankind, human species, fueled on money. Its whole thing is fueled on money. Plain and simple. Why is it that they would charge people $250,000 just to go on one of these so-called commercial space flights up in this atmosphere to space, which they're not even going into outer space. Where they're going is to the last layer of the atmosphere. I think it's like the stratosphere or something. I don't remember what. They feel some type of zero-G gravity. Because you can find these videos on YouTube because they haven't censored them because of course they're not going to censor it. So what ends up happening is they show it, tons of people watch it, tons of people say, oh wow, I want to pay for something like that, oh this and that. And guess what? They start getting money from people that are saying, oh, that'd be pretty cool to do so. And now they've completely influenced a whole bunch of people that really don't really know exactly. They're getting their leg pulled, and especially getting their leg pulled by those individuals that are supporting this shit. but they're not being censored. They're actually promoting. I don't know whether or not people have heard probably about. I think it was about a couple years ago, and I said I don't really much talk about the flat Earth, and I don't really talk about flat Earth versus Globers and all that other stuff because one I'll get into later, but um, with the situations with those is that a couple years ago, since the flat Earth apparently took off really hot and heavy, um, you know, Mark Sargent, if you know who he is, he's a flat earther. He promotes flat earth. He talks about flat earth. He has a podcast. His stuff is very detailed. His stuff is very good that he talks and he sticks to what he has discussed and his reasoning behind it. I'm not going to dispel any of that. I'm not going to say any that's wrong. I'm going to say he's very well constructed in what he's talking about as his reason and his belief in what is the whole thing for the flat earth. Now, um, the thing with that is that, like I said, about a couple years ago, that whole flat Earth movement began to take off. People started kind of changing their ideas. As holy shit, maybe people might be onto something. And then apparently Google and even the United States government end up coming into a conflict with it, and they were like really discussing about this. And they were saying, "Oh, if you believe that, if you believe that, you're fucking stupid. You believe in this, you're dumb." And so they would have people of science, people with masters, PhD degrees, the elites of the elites, model citizens, the scholars, and all this shit. They would say, "Oh, that's bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know the physics. They're stupid," and they would go ham on them. They would go straight ham on them, criticizing them. But you have to have a little common sense, as I always try to say on my podcast. If they know that, the Earth is a globe, then why is the people that know the Earth is a globe, why are they going back and forth with a group organization that's claiming that the Earth be something else? Why would it be such a big deal for them to, at every avenue, try to dispel it from that information from getting out to people? Quote me. President Obama has said, when he was president, he said, "We don't have time to have meetings and discussion with the Flat Earth Society. The Earth is round." He said that. I don't know the last part. It said Earth, but he said, "Well, you don't have time." So they're acknowledging that they're trying not to have a discussion with the Flat Earth Society about how, oh, you think the Earth's flat? The Earth is not flat. The Earth is a ball. If you know that, say, what they're saying is totally inaccurate or wrong, why are you taking that information and you're now trying to censor the stuff that they're talking about on wide range of scales? You wouldn't do that. Think of it this way. I'll give you an example because I love giving examples. If you listen to my podcast, I talk about giving examples all the time because for us people that like layman terms, I'm going to help you out. So put it this way. Everyone's probably been to a store, mall, whatever, and you see kids and young kids, probably about the age from like 6 and under. And the kids are always, dancing and grooving in the stores and twirling and, skip the Maloo and all that stuff, right? So we know as once you get to a certain age, you're like, oh, okay, that's just a little kid doing that stuff. You're like, whatever. You're not worried about it because that's what they do. You're not gonna take anything that the little kid does by like dancing and twirling and shaking their thing and like, hey, how you doing? You're just be like, okay, this is a little kid, whatever. It is what it is. Now, if you see a grown up do that, your first instinct is like, okay, something's always wrong with this person. You're gonna take a look at like, I don't know whether they're mentally unstable or whatever. But it's almost as the same situation as what I'm talking about as far as how is the government and certain organizations kept trying to do anything but do everything to change people, make them not be influenced by what the flat earth people talk about in their videos, their podcasts, things like that. If you know that, for instance, that okay, that's just dumb, they're just not whatever. Why would you pay so much concern to it? But then they would say, oh, because it's not the right way. They're thinking the wrong way. It's, you don't want to think bad thoughts and have them try to influence other people and blah, blah, blah. But, okay, that's fine. But why such a huge debate about it? Like, they go fucking ham on it. Like, hardcore as far as trying to like debunk. And I've seen some of these videos, I've seen some of these debates, and you know, me personally, I have an open mind. I really have an open mind, and I take a lot of things in. I take the good from the bad and disregard the nonsense and the bullshit and set that shit aside. But like I said, a lot of these people that are, would listen to what they have to say. They take this shit in hard fucking core. But it goes back to my thing. Why are you censoring things? Why are you censoring certain, you know, topics, whatever? There are things where people get fucking shadow banned. Okay? Me, I've gotten fucking shadow banned. I've probably gotten shadow banned on fucking YouTube. I'm guaranteed that one for one. I'm not even like joking. And hell, I'm just promoting, just talking about certain UFOs and aliens and shit like that. All right? That's just what I'm talking about. I know I done got shadow banned. Okay? Plain and goddamn simple. There is no fucking thing about, hey, you're being censored, you're being and guess what? These private companies, they do this shit all the time because one, they don't like what you're promoting. You're not part of the club, and so guess what? If you're not part of the club, they will fucking not put your shit out there. And why do you think so many people talk about, oh well, I'm not in the algorithm? Why would there be an algorithm? An algorithm only exists if you have a certain way of how you want it to be done. Primary example, because I like to give examples. When people talk about, oh, I'm not in the algorithm, or can't trying to get put in that algorithm or get my shit put out there. Algorithm is a certain way that should be done in order to get to the main conclusion to something or resolve to something. You take the freaking Rubik's Cube. There is an algorithm to solving the Rubik's Cube. So, if you're able to utilize the algorithm to solve the Rubik's Cube, you're going to get the Rubik's Cube solved by using whatever algorithm that you do use. You can't just, well, let me screw it. It's not going to work. Now, unfortunately, some people that are part of the elites in the certain clubs, the scholars, the people that are supposed to be influencers on certain topics or certain things, they have no problem being put into that algorithm at all. They have none. Because guess what? The elites of the elites, these companies, i.e., are going to push them into the algorithm so that way it gets to where it needs to be. But for a very mass majority of us that think maybe outside the box and think that something's wrong or whatever, you are not going to be put into the algorithm. You might have a sense of how the algorithm is supposed to work, but it won't work. Because guess what? They're going to stop you at some point. They're going to freaking show that you ain't figuring this shit out. No, sir, not at all. But why would they do that if whatever you were saying was just crazy or nonsense? See it, my drift? You understanding what I'm talking about? What I say, and I'm telling you, is not crazy talk. It's actually real talk. It's actually a really discussion that we people have to actually have a sit down. I'm not gonna say sit down because ain't nobody gonna fucking sit down. These motherfuckers just gonna straight no. Like I had one of my other podcasts. I talked about ancient aliens, and watching this video, I was getting upset because I said, look at this. The videos were showing is like, we're here and the ancient aliens are going to Mars and this and that, and they had some PhD professor talking about blah 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 blah, and I said what they're doing is painting a picture of credibility. Painting a picture of credibility. Because they're a PhD, they're a doctor. There's no way in hell they could be lying. There's no way in hell they could be full of shit, or no way in hell they could be trying to sell you on something that they probably know is not entirely true. I mean, don't get it past me, okay? Maybe they could be rigged. There are chances it could be right. There's a chance we or people think outside the box could be right. But what they try to sell you is an opinion and a picture of people with credibility. I would go back to the alien talk, which is this is where I've always said people get abducted, right? So people that always get abducted are people of prominent areas, people who are scholars, intelligent people with money and wealth. And you listen to their stories of abductions and things of that nature, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, this and that. And you're more facet to believe them than, let's say, somebody from a poverty-stricken area. You'll be like, I'm not listening to that guy. That guy's like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? They came in the mothership, and then they were like, yeah, you whip them here, and they would lay me on a slash table, and they were doing. You would be like, whatever, man. This dude's high or drunk. You know why? Because you don't see that person being credible, even though that person could be fucking telling the goddamn truth, but you're not going to listen to them because you figure, oh, let's say they didn't go to a good school, they didn't graduate from here, and it's all a fucking farce, man. They're just a lot of shit is being fucking forced to us by how they want us to go. Like I just saw the other day where it was a commercial, or I think it was a commercial. Yeah, it was a commercial where they were talking about if your child goes to a Catholic or Christian school academy, so to speak, they were like, oh, they will have so much more advances in this and that. Now, people can choose to take their child to whatever school they want to go to, but why are they promoting that? Why? People somewhat do know that sometimes taking kids to certain private schools is going to cost a lot of money. Not many people can afford the tuition to send their child to a private school. Especially in today's age. Fucking eggs last month were fucking out the fucking roof. But they're now starting to try to promote this, send your kid to a private school, they'll have more chances, they'll excel a lot better. Who are they talking to? Who are they talking and sending that message to? Because I tell you right now, the message is out there, but it's intended for only certain individuals. It's not intended for everybody. No, it's not. I'm telling you, it's sending a message to only certain individuals. You ever think the reason why some people go to Ivy League schools and the next don't get all the job? Well, you go to Ivy League school, oh, you're supposed to be super duper smart and this and that. So everybody paints a picture and says, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're super duper smart. Oh my gosh. You're like, what the fuck? They're painting a picture. Literally. I'm telling you now, you got to understand this. You have to be able to recognize the signs of this shit. They're going to show you stuff in bits and pieces. And they're going to try to influence you in or try to exclude you out of this. Think about the movies that been played out that were talking about, oh, the end of the world happens, and there's always a mass like, well, these group of people are surviving, and the rest of you are going to die. They're going to take them to the mothership or take them to the, the ships, the spacecrafts, or to the caves or the bunkers or whatever. And the rest of y'all haven't been pre-selected, so y'all been pre-selected to die. So, we're going to start over fresh with smart, educated, well-knowledgeable, freaking credible people. Everyone else, sorry, you're not invited. It's the truth. Why would they show that shit in movies? Because that's how people think, right? What did George Carlin say? He said, oh, it's a big club, and guess what? And you ain't in it. Shit. I'm telling you right now, if you listen to my podcast, chances are you ain't in that motherfucking club. All right? I know I'm not in that motherfucking club. All right? At least I'm willing to admit that. Unlike some people live in a pipe dream thinking they are. Just being honest. So, it's just, you gotta be able to, sift through the fucking bullshit that they tell you. You really have to. Because they will fool you at every avenue, and you don't know exactly who's doing it, but somebody behind the thing. It's getting bad, people. Somebody or something, some groups, whatever, they're trying to do us wrong. But you can't let them just think you as a person are going to fall for this shit. You know? I don't know. I guess each and every one of us got to do what we have to do. Live our lives the best way we can. And it's pretty much what we have to do. Yeah. I don't know. Thinking about this, talking about it, kind of gets me feeling a certain way because the fact that, not many things are fair. Not indeed. But if you're listening to the Cooley Cool Show, I'm going to tell you some stuff that didn't have your mind blown. So you'll be with a new thought process. Maybe open your mind. You know? What's that movie? Arnold Schwarzenegger in Puerto Rico. The guy said, he says, free your mind. Open your mind to me. Well, so if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow me on my other social media platforms. You can follow my TikTok channel, YouTube channel, both labeled The Cooley Cool Show. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at CooleyCool2412. You can also follow me on Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. You can also follow me on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Spreaker.com. We're only radio that rock coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And Antarctica, where's my goddamn postcard? So, you're here live with Coolest to Cool, the Cooley Cool Show, here on Sunday Night Vibes. Alright, take care. Bye.